I'm Doug Walker, and with me is...
Me.
And...
Malcolm me.
And...
Tamra.
Me.
Tammy.
No! So come
And Jim
Just
me. No, Jim me.
Jimmy.
Maxie me. And Dad me. No, we have others.
That really tickled Malcolm.
Ooh, go laugh at
That's a
you.
good laugh.
So we're just going to spend this commentary talking about the actual good Adam Sandler movies, so it's not going to be very long, but...
I did like Wedding Singer.
I like Wayne Center. I like
Happy
Hotel
Gilmore.
Transfer,
I like
yeah.
Happy Gilmore.
I think we list them actually in this song.
Waterboys suck.
So Zohan was good. Lil Nicky sucked.
You drag me to that. I've never forgiven you.
What? No,
Zohan was
I
good.
like.
yes, it
Really?
looks awful,
Yes,
but
it
it's
is.
actually pretty
It's very
funny.
bad.
Yeah, no, it's one of those movies where I was going with a friend, I'm like, we'll see, but it was actually really funny. Check it out, you'll actually like it.
Punch Drunk Love was okay.
Yeah,
Spanglish and Funny People, not so much.
I thought Spanglish was alright.
but bottom line, he can do good stuff. We don't know why he doesn't.
I think you.
I guess it's easier to make shit.
Yeah,
Maybe, but nobody's watching him anymore.
I think you explained it pretty well
Yeah.
in the review.
Well, I remember, we had some of the Adam Sandler albums, and it's like they're not smart, but they are funny.
Well, I will also say this. I feel like Adam Sandler is a holdover from the 90s, which
Yeah.
itself was kind of a holdover from the 80s, because this style of movie, it's a man-child versus the authority
and
versus
the bully,
man,
and the, yeah.
is so, like, Harold Ramis, Bill Murray, 80s comedy, kind of like Belushi, like... I think it's just run its course.
I think that Rob Schneider is the scariest thing I've seen.
He looked like Andy Serkis.
Well, I was supposed to have it where, he was looking to the left, so I had to Photoshop it, and, yeah, he just looks like he has a lazy eye, and, it's like a lazy eye owned by the devil or something, because it's really scary.
Oh, Blended was terrible.
Did you actually see it?
Yeah, it was on television. I'm like, well, because I liked Wedding Singer and I thought 50 First Dates was okay. So I'm like, all right, I'll watch a few minutes of this. I'm like, I watched it at first, was like thinking of changing the channel, and I kept it because I was so curious. I'm like, this is so bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
I know.
And I got about halfway through it and then flipped.
We address this in the review, but I always think it's weird in his movies when he's playing those so weird characters, and he's getting these babes.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That's not real life.
He's called wish fulfillment.
And I tried finding a clip of this character he used to do, but I can't find a clip of it. He used to do it all the time on SNL, but for some reason, I can't find it anywhere. So this is just my assumption of what he looked like, because how do you put in screaming Adam Sandler character? That's all of them. But he would always come out, he did with, Sinead O'Connor and, all these people, no, don't you see, it's about love. Yeah, look at him. I'm done, guys.
Yeah, I see how that happened.
And everyone that's ever met him says he's the nicest guy in the world, and I'm sure they're right. I'm sure he's the sweetest person ever, but man, these movies are just getting so bad.
Hey, we don't review people. We review movies.
Yes.
And the movies
Yeah.
suck.
I heard The Cobbler was pretty bad too.
Yes, it is.
Well done, Malcolm.
Yeah.
Your deduction is amazing.
What can I say?
So, second most watched one, is that correct?
Yeah, well,
I told you these clipless reviews would go nowhere.
Yeah, nobody watches them.
Everybody hates them apparently.
Yeah. and
Don't
that's
you know everyone hates them?
when will you? That wall's not the right white. Well, and here.
That's a sky blue white. I prefer the eggshell white.
Well, and the interesting thing is that when we did Jurassic World, because we're just getting hit with so many of these claims for stuff, and it's not fair, and we're gonna do more videos and talking about it and stuff, but we have to try our best to work within whatever weird guidelines are not explained. So we said, okay, well, if there's no clips in it whatsoever, that would make sense, but how the hell do you even do that? And we just had this idea, we have enough experience, we can reenact this stuff. And if anything, we can actually do more commentary through the reenactments than we can just looking at the clip, because we can actually comment while showing the footage. So we did Jurassic World, and then I was leaving it open for 50 Shades of Grey, like, as a possibility, but I didn't
still
know.
say we should do that with sock puppets.
Just taking the sock off. But, wow, I forgot what that joke was.
It's Adolphe the clown.
Sorry, I don't have a comment on that one, guys. I don't even remember what the hell I was thinking.
It's the funniest thing.
You said it was like nigga Hitler.
Oh, nega Hitler, except trying to be funny, maybe.
Yeah, Hitler
That's
trying to be
so
hilarious.
Well, and I think, but the one that got all the comments and people saying, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, was Pixels. Just so many people were coming in. And I did decide at this point that this would be, if I ever talk about a recent film, something that came out like past 5 years, or even a film that's in theaters, like, it would have to have some tie to nostalgia. That's why we do Star Wars, Jurassic Park, and stuff, because I am realizing, like, yeah, I do want some connection.
Donkey Kong's only 4 years old.
Well, no, that's the funniest when people are just like, I don't get where this nostalgia talk is talking about. I mean, the last few reviews you did were Star Wars and Jurassic Park, and what does that have to do with nostalgia at all? Like, wow, like it's really that ingrained that it's like that nostalgia culture has taken over so much they don't even see where the connection is.
It's really sad
It's
it's really flippin' obvious.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's.
I don't know how it's like. How can you miss it? That most of these things are 20-plus-year-old properties that Hollywood's recycling.
Why can't you be like the old days? Your first two videos where you talked about Transformers the movie and Cloverfield. That was nostalgia.
Yeah. Oh, and then you went to that Harry Potter book event. That was nostalgic.
I love this.
I forgot about this.
Well, oh, yeah.
With the terrifying old
You gave us nightmares.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
This
Look
is
at that.
good.
Let that
Look
haunt
at
your
that.
dreams.
Yes.
The lips.
If my face looks weird there, I had to switch it around because I came in from the wrong direction. So it looks like I had a stroke or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Stroke.
That's what happens when you see pixels.
I love
Yeah.
it so much. Yes, Malcolm, yes.
It's like I make it rain.
And then we went outside and smoked that.
Yes.
right.
It was a surprisingly good cigar.
Yeah, what? It was chocolate?
Yeah, it actually was. It was like a chocolate. I mean, it wasn't chocolate like a candy, but it had like a chocolate flavor to it.
Right.
I like to point Tamara as that young Kevin James. I thought we were gonna bring, or no, as the young Peter Dinklage. I thought we were gonna bring that character back because it just looks so funny, but I couldn't figure out anything. But yeah,
One
look at
day,
that kid.
Doug. One
Yeah,
day.
it's like I just saw it. I'm like, oh my god, this character looks amazing. I could never figure out what to do.
Oh.
As we talk, he's still being considered.
He's-
It's pretty sad.
It's really
Topical.
weird.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
That's hilarious.
Kevin James.
That's
Just
Rob body
hands.
acting, by the way.
So
Oh,
good.
Can we put acting in quotes there?
Obama came back. I love the fact that we brought him back.
Well, he's only got one more term, so we figure use him as much as we can.
True, yeah.
Hip Obama with the hair.
Yep.
Yeah.
I never knew I could do an Obama impression.
I mean, the first one we had to really...
We didn't either.
Kinda-
When we get one, we'll...
No, the first one we had to really coach you, but then when he came in the second time, I think for this, like, you just had it down.
Thanks.
Actually, that was embarrassing, because, yeah, the first time we were giving him tips, I'm like, this is sad when these two white guys... But no, the second time you came in, you, like, nailed it, and now it's way better than what our shitty impression was.
Well, so the first day, I usually take 2 days to write these, and the first day was kind of a straightforward review, and then this happened, and halfway through the second day, I came up with the idea of the Adam Sandler app, and I'm like, oh my god, yes, yeah, I stayed up, like, so much later than I usually do, but I'm like, this idea, this gave the review its identity. This suddenly
they are
made it
so
interesting.
formulaic.
Yeah, I mean, and I think, again, because if I do a review, it's like if I have to be in front of the white wall and just make jokes, I mean, that's fine, but it's one of those things where if I can do something new, I really like to, and I really thought this was like a new, cool idea. Just sort of like the whole thing's done through this app, and it made it visually more interesting, and the jokes were just so much more fun, and the pacing and the speed was so great. I mean, just look how many cuts there are in this, and how quickly it's going. It felt so tight.
And it's so much fun to do. I love doing these reviews.
So this is what the White House looks like, huh?
Well, yeah, it's a white room.
Yeah.
I made sure it's a white room in the White House.
Yeah.
We decided to meet in the White House broom closet.
Yeah.
That is where you would host Adam Sandler in the White House, let's be honest.
The white broom closet.
Up here comes Dad's great role.
Oh yeah, this was good.
Brian Cox.
Oh, yeah, what the hell is
performance!
Honestly, I thought your performance was better than Brian Cox.
Thank you.
At least it was funny.
You could tell somebody just gave him a pint of Guinness and shoved him in front of a camera.
No, that's what pissed me off is when I saw Brian Cox was in that movie, I was excited because that could be a
I like
cool, funny
Brian
guy,
Cox.
and they just he's just
Wasted
the Sandler
him.
bully. Like that's it. It's like ugh.
I love the double, triple takes.
Yeah, the funny thing is I was very indifferent to this film when I saw the initial trailer and the posters, and people were like, don't you think it's going to be terrible? I'm like, okay, well, just because Adam Sandler's in it doesn't mean it's going to be awful. When I found out it was a Happy Madison production, that's when I was
we're
like,
screwed.
oh, fuck, no. Oh, dear God, no.
Olaf.
Just making the snowman from Frozen.
With the fro. Oh, God.
Sometimes I do watch these clipless reviews. It does kind of bring back editing nightmares. You got to animate this. You have to do you have to do the finger. You have to find this alien word. I mean, it's like they don't look like great effects, obviously, but when it's just one guy doing them, it's like, yeah, it takes time.
Yeah, this is.
Well, I think people don't understand that it's so much more work than a regular clip-filled review.
It is.
Well, when someone who doesn't like us, why don't you just stop? A part of me nothing would be easier than just talking in front of the white wall the whole time and making jokes. But it's gonna lose the views, and the clipless ones always view-wise do great.
Well, not only that,
and I think
but
it
the whole
expands
reason
what
we
you can do with it.
was we kept getting our shit pulled down.
Yeah, but I mean, the major thing too is that just nobody's doing this. I mean, there's almost a formula now of what video producers do and reviewers and stuff, and it feels like now you can really do something different with it. I love the way you're talking with that cup totally empty.
I'm not partaking in this party. So
See,
good.
yeah, you can't do jokes like that in just a normal review. I mean, there's just so much more possibility to it. With apologies to Peter Dinklage.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
I
I forgot that.
Yeah.
I like how Shyamalan's cloak keeps changing.
Yeah, it goes from... So-
Shyamalan, the
Is it
only
black or
character we've
brown?
had played by 5 people.
I think that was the thing with this one, too, because this was the one after Jurassic World. And, Jurassic World was fine, but we both kind of felt there was, like, a little bit of a slowness to it, and we were like, how do we change this? And I remember, Rob, you were saying, like, just there needs to be more editing, more cuts, more
Kinetic
speeds.
energy,
Yeah.
I think was the
And I
exact
think
two
that
words
the
I
idea,
used.
the idea of the app really made that happen here. Because I'm writing, I'm like, yeah, this can work, but just... I remember you were saying, too, like, if you could come into the review and talk, like, interact with the characters as the critic, like, that could be interesting. And the app just suddenly made that happen. It happened.
You're welcome.
You are Dinklage.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
When Doug told me I was going to play, I'm like, I'm going to be on my knees all fight.
And we're back. We should point out, because I don't know if we've ever mentioned this about Shyamalan, is that Malcolm actually can do a really good... I forget his name.
Steve Bloom.
Steve Bloom. He'd actually do a good Steve Bloom, but Rob just came in as like, fuck no, I'm doing this, and...
I was like, sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, which is fine, because you both do it really
I
well.
called seniority. I was here first.
Yeah, no, but Rob, like, adores Steve Bloom's voice and his work, and so it's one of those things
It was
where
one
it's
of my
like,
dream
yeah,
come true things to be able to do that voice. I'm like, I'm totally calling dibs on this.
Yeah,
and then when I actually heard Malcolm Steve Bloom, I'm like, wow, I'm an asshole. That's probably better than mine.
No, it cut my work in half too, because all I had to do was like pantomime, and then I didn't have to come back and do voice.
That's true. You didn't have to remember any of your lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well, that's a big plus.
But because we had Chris Harrison also do Shyamalan with the mask of, it's like Darth Vader. It's like 4
So
or
many
5
people
people.
play him.
Yeah.
And none of them Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Again,
that whole Pac-Man bit that The whole thing with the cheat code made no sense to me.
Let's be honest, it's not what didn't make sense. What did make sense in this movie?
It's a movie.
That much.
It doesn't have to make sense.
You don't have to feel connected.
Just watch the
It's a
explosions.
movie. That's why Citizen Kane ended with him really being Santa Claus and taking off in a flying Volkswagen.
Oh, with the waving snowman, right?
Yeah, it's a movie.
Oh.
In Jurassic Park, the T-Rex just transformed into Mickey and then gave them all treats. It's a movie.
Oh, good.
I will say my Adam Sandler constantly turns into Jason from home movies. Just, that's about all I can think about it. I'm just kind of this
Oh,
thing.
yeah, you're right.
I will
love
say
that show.
I will say I kind of wrote a lot of these scenes having no idea how I do them. Like, and then aliens come down and turn everybody into video game characters. I'm like, I don't know how the hell I'm gonna do this.
Oh, Tamara's
Oh, damn,
Yeah, yeah.
epic rage.
Oscar-worthy moment.
I loved doing this rant.
Yeah, we had 2 cameras on this, so we're not actually facing each other, but we want our reactions to be pretty legit. And that's why, because we can both be like, oh, well, and then be interrupted at the exact same time, so it works out really well.
I kept drinking Sprite for these shots, and my blood sugar was super high.
Should have given a real champagne.
Here you go.
Yeah, we thought we were gonna have to like jump in like security on the Jerry Springer show and pull her off of Doug and Jim. She just is like unhinged. Fuck you guys.
It's pretty dressed, by the way.
Yeah, it is a nice dress.
You guys can
Hug it
borrow
out.
it anytime.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks.
Trust me, we will.
Trust me, he has.
When did we shoot this?
On
When
the day
movie
that
come
we
out.
shot it.
Well, you-
back in-
Did you have a sunburn on your chest? Looks
Looked a
red.
little red there.
I get easily red. Like if I probably
Oh.
just scratched it.
You can tell. Well, anytime we do the anniversary movies, I'm always red because we have to usually shoot outside, and it's like, and then the worst is when it peels off.
Oh no.
I want to say this was September.
And this was another great. Yeah, it's again just how much visually can you work in? I love doing this whole movie with just that check flying closer and closer throughout the whole thing. Yep, you just get to watch that the whole time.
This is hilarious.
And I looked up one of the writers. That's what he looks like. So
Really?
he wrote pretty much all the really bad Adam Sandler movies. So I'm like, okay, I have no problem making fun of this guy. Now I love this because you see Mario get hit in the background, and then Ryu hits him as well. So you see him, Scorpion like impales him, then knocks him up, and then Ryu finishes the job.
Nice.
And again, that just would be cool if Obama did this, but no, it's Kevin James.
There's so many awesome visuals in this.
Oh,
Is
man,
that,
it looks
is
so
that
good.
you or Rob
I
now?
think that's me.
Yeah.
God, that's funny. That fucking drives
Actually,
me.
when Obama came out, you should have had the check pause for a
Critically
second
moves.
since it was legitimately cool.
Yeah, see, Dan, now they're not sunburned. That's just fake breast.
They're crinkled.
They're
Yes,
real.
they're wrinkled.
You know, doing
should've
this
ironed your
commentary in
breast.
winter,
I know.
looking at all the green is kind of creepy.
Yeah, how do you make Max Headroom look even more fake than he was in the original? Yeah, and then they got in trouble for cheating, so how they win, they cheat.
Yeah, okay, that bothered me so much. I remember going on this long rant about it.
Yeah, there was no moral.
Yeah,
there.
where he just picks up the hammer and tosses it. I was like, you can't win Donkey Kong that way. The fuck is this?
So here's something both impressive and really embarrassing about me, is that none of the effects in this are done in After Effects. They're all done in Premiere and Photoshop.
This
Oh,
is why it took you
God.
9 years to edit.
But because of the reason I don't know how to use After Effects, which that's the pathetic part, because it's like, why don't I just learn it? But it's just, these things take so much time, and it's such a rush to get them out that it's like, I just don't have time to learn it. So it's all done in Premiere. It's all just through layers and stuff like that, yeah. Tamara, I love your, yeah, I guess I'm dancing. Yeah, and this really happened. And then, like, right before this came out, like, A Crazy Nights got claimed. And it was just like, oh, well, we can throw this in there, too. Yeah, I mean, depending on when you hear this...
This is the world we live in now.
Yeah, depending on when you hear this, I mean, right now, it is a really crazy time for... Fair use, like, practically doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And I mean, right now we're in the process
If you're a big, giant studio, you can just do whatever the flying fuck you want.
You kind of think these hints and these jokes would hit it, would finally get people's attention, but it isn't. It's like you gotta be direct. So that's kind of what we're working on now. We're gonna see what we can get going with it. But yeah, and maybe in the future it'll be better, but as of now, it's really bad.
Yeah, it's a fight for sure.
Yeah, and this was the honest thoughts about Pixels, which I hate defending it because it is a really bad movie, but just compared to his other ones, it is not the worst.
So blah. It's just middle of the road. It's not good. It's not the most god-awful thing on the planet.
It is one of those things where it's just like, when you think about, just how far movies have come, and I don't know, I always talk about that dark age of cinema, like sort of the late 90s and early 2000s, and I just thought we would never get out of this, like this was the future of films, and it was so refreshing when good films came back again. Like, even when there's a lot of bad ones out, it's like, it really isn't like that dark age of movies, and now the films like Pixels are just seen as, like, embarrassments. Like, they're seen as horrendously bad. It's kind of like, okay, good. It's like there's hope. Like, that wasn't just...
And then they released Norm of the North.
Yeah, that wasn't like just like the norm back then. You know, it was like, no, this was a bad thing, and now we're seeing it, now we're acknowledging it. So, that's my thought.
Bully.
I do really feel bad when I talk about people that I'm sure are really nice people by to hand their asses to them in terms of their work. Joe Schumacher, I hear, is a very sweet guy, and I'm sure he's wonderful. I just can't stand his movie.
He made a good movie.
He had his one. Well, two if you count Lost Boys.
I mean, Batman and Robin's amazing.
It was nice bringing the elephant back, too. A lot of people really like that. Well, what's funny is how many people don't know that phrase. They're like, just an elephant. Okay, weird. But they never put together elephant in the room.
Right.
Stupid millennials.
I never left.
Yeah.
Sounds like the robot chicken Garfield.
Yeah.
What John?
Yeah, that was another... It wasn't too crazy to shoot, but it was crazy to edit. And, yeah, but it turned out really, really nice.
That was so much fun.
Not fun watching that movie.
No.
Oh, no.
The review was more fun to watch.
The review was hilarious.
Bye, everybody!
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.